It's time for our main event, a 30-minute Iron Man match for the World Heavyweight Championship, Cesaro and Daniel Bryan, and this rivalry started all the way back at WrestleMania. Bryan has had him in the deep waters and is trying to put it away for good, but Cesaro keeps on fighting Bryan, now looking on the top rope, but he's caught! Now Cesaro looking to lock it in, looking for the sharpshooter. Will the submission specialist submit on the grandest stage? Daniel Bryan, he taps out. Daniel Bryan taps out at WrestleMania, and Cesaro is still World Heavyweight Champion. Looking at the champion, but no, that's Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan attacking Cesaro, punching the champion, and now Bryan is letting him have it, just those punches, laying him out. It's obviously not finished with Cesaro just yet. The lapel lock locked in the center of the ring. Samoa Joe, nowhere to go, nowhere to turn. And Cesaro breaks it up. And Cesaro now is finally getting his hands on Daniel Bryan. And at PTW Iron Man, he'll have 30 whole minutes to let out that anger. These two are some of the best wrestlers in the world, and then we'll have 30 minutes to decide who is the best, who can beat the other the most, who will be the World Heavyweight Champion. What a story it has been between these two superstars, and it'll all culminate here tonight in the main event of PTW Iron Man. And out now comes the challenger, the American Dragon, Daniel Bryan. Now Bryan, he of course came up short at WrestleMania 3 when he challenged for the World Heavyweight title. But he has been reinvigorated since then, and tonight it's a completely different ball game. 30 minutes where the most pinfalls and submissions equals the victory. Well, Daniel Bryan, he believes that Cesaro's one-time win at WrestleMania was just a one-time thing. He believes in this contest he will get the better of the World Heavyweight Champion. We'll see if that holds true here tonight. And there you see, emerging from the Iron Man mask, the Iron Man himself, the World Heavyweight Champion, Cesaro. Cesaro, without a shadow of a doubt, has had one of the best title reigns here in the history of PTW. But tonight might be his biggest test yet. Cesaro and Daniel Bryan, I would say these are the two most talented wrestlers on the roster on Breakdown. And we already saw at WrestleMania 3, it was a classic between them. And now tonight we're going to see it again. And it could just be for one fall, but it could be 2, 3, 4, or 5, maybe more than that. However many falls to the finish here in the 30-minute time limit. As Cesaro and Bryan staring each other down. These two both eager to prove they are the best. And that they are deserving of that World Heavyweight title. Cesaro with the more power, Daniel Bryan, the submission specialist. But these two will have to dig deep here tonight in this Iron Man matchup as the timer has begun. 30 minutes are underway. And I'm going to try not to lose my voice throughout this long matchup. But now you see these two men staring each other down. They know it's going to be a long one here tonight. And both men sizing each other up here. And now the two lock up center of the ring. Cesaro and Bryan. And the World Heavyweight Champion trying to overpower Bryan into the corner right away. They got a 5 count with the ropes there. But now Bryan, a slap right to the face, the disrespect there. And Daniel Bryan has shown constant disrespect to the World Heavyweight Champion, attacking him from behind, hitting him with the microphone. Where Cesaro wants to settle things here and now, but he's going to have to keep his cool in this long matchup as they lock up once again now. Going for a test of strength, but you have to think that's going to go the way of the World Heavyweight Champion. Cesaro. He immediately powers Bryan to the ground now, and he's got the shoulder pin to the mat here. Bryan gets the shoulder up that time, but now kicks Cesaro over, both men down now. Still their hands locked as Daniel Bryan now getting on top of the World Heavyweight Champion. Now you see just driving those knees right to the core of Cesaro. They're trying to get the advantage here in this matchup as now Bryan trying to overpower Cesaro, but Cesaro now kicks him over the top and both shoulders down here, but both men bridging up and finally letting go back to their feet. But there's Bryan with the arm drag to the World Heavyweight Champion. And now Daniel Bryan, you have to think he believes he's got the endurance in this matchup. But now walking up and Bryan ringing the arm here. Cesaro though, big forearm in there. The headlock takedown from the champion. And Bryan trying to fight out of it. Cesaro there you see trying to pin the shoulders down. These guys going for every pinfall they can. They know every pin matters. But now look at Bryan now. He's just tugging on the nose of Cesaro and forcing him to let go of that headlock. As now Bryan with the strikes there and now coming off the ropes. But now Cesaro, the European uppercut there. Now he's got Bryan and the waistlock takedown from the World Heavyweight Champion. With that waistlock locked in here on Daniel Bryan. Cesaro not letting go here. But now Bryan, oh! He just snapped the arm there with Cesaro, winging that arm right against the apron. And now Cesaro catching Bryan out of the air. Bryan though on his feet, and now low bridge Cesaro over the top now. But again, that arm. Daniel Bryan, he's got 30 minutes to work with. You knew he was gonna find a target. Cesaro though trying to fight back with the boot there. And now getting back into the ring. But now there's Bryan, and again the arm. And now trying to lock in the lapel lock early here. Trying to lock it in, but Cesaro fighting out of it with the flurry of punches there. And now the uppercut. And Cesaro clotheslines Daniel Bryan to the outside. But Bryan trying to soften up that arm. The arm of the World Heavyweight Champion. You knew Bryan was going to find a target here tonight. The technical specialist. But now Cesaro going after him on the outside. But now Daniel Bryan sends him shoulder first into that turnbuckle post. And Daniel Bryan now has got the champion on the outside here. And now he's got him both arms hooked and the butterfly suplex right onto the floor. Butterfly suplex there from Daniel Bryan. And that had to do a number on the World Heavyweight Champion. As now Daniel Bryan getting back in the ring here. And Bryan now he's telling the official to count. He wants Cesaro to be counted out of this matchup. Of course, countouts do apply. And this could be Daniel Bryan's way of gaining the advantage. Will Cesaro be counted out? No. He gets back in the ring. But Bryan immediately makes him pay. Kicking him right in the gut there. And now the challenger has got Cesaro in the corner. And now Daniel Bryan with those kicks right to the gut again. Targeting the core of the World Heavyweight Champion. And now Daniel Bryan could be looking for that dropkick in the corner here. But Cesaro pops him up with the European uppercut, flattening the challenger. And now Cesaro, look at this. He's got the legs. He's got the legs of Daniel Bryan. And now he could be going for it. The sharpshooter. The sharpshooter locked in. This is how he won at WrestleMania. He's got it locked in and Bryan taps. Bryan taps out, and Cesaro goes up 1-0. Well, that was a quick tap out from Bryan. I mean, you saw how long he held on to that submission at WrestleMania, but there, a quick tap out. We're only just over 5 minutes in this matchup, almost 6 minutes, and Bryan surrenders the fall there to Cesaro. Cesaro now with a gut-wrench suplex into another cover. Bryan kicks out. But you gotta wonder if Bryan thought better of sitting in that submission. He tapped out quickly, giving Cesaro the 1-0 advantage while trying to preserve himself for the endurance needed in this matchup. But now Cesaro trying to work on Bryan, but Bryan though rolls through, and now Bryan those elbows again to the arm of Cesaro, and now look at him, he's got those legs wrapped around the head and just striking the champion. But now Cesaro rolling over, powering up, he's got Bryan in the wheelbarrow, but Bryan, what a counter in a headlock takeover there. And now he's got the arm again in the armbar. Armbar locked in from Daniel Bryan. Again, he's just targeting that arm of Cesaro. Cesaro trying to fight out of it. But Bryan's got a target. And now Cesaro tried to fight. But Bryan now into the triangle choke. But now Cesaro, look at the power. Powering him up. Cesaro has got Bryan hoisted up there. Bryan trying to fight. But Cesaro slams him down. The World Heavyweight Champion powering out there. But look at the way he's holding his arm. He may have got out of it that time, but that arm is certainly a target for Daniel Bryan. And Cesaro may have the 1-0 advantage, but Bryan is wearing him down here. But now send off the ropes, and Bryan does a clothesline, and here he comes, taking down the champion there. So Daniel Bryan, he trails 1-0. But there's a lot of time left in this matchup, and Daniel Bryan now seemingly has the upper hand on the World Heavyweight Champion. And now here comes Bryan in the corner with the drop kick there. And now Bryan, here he goes again, another drop kick in the corner. And now the American Dragon doing whatever he can to try and even the score here. If this match ended right now, Cesaro would retain the title. But now Daniel Bryan looking to that top rope. And we know Daniel Bryan in the past has said he rejects the high flying, the flips, in favor of the technical style. But Bryan now is getting desperate as he comes off the top with the flying headbutt. And now in for the cover. Cesaro kicks out. But Daniel Bryan, we know he is desperate to win that World Heavyweight Championship. That's why he's going up on the top rope. That's why he's throwing caution to the wind here. But Bryan, he's still got a game plan. Here is now with those kicks to the guts. Those kicks to Cesaro. And now here with a big one. And he hits it. The big kick there from Daniel Bryan. And now, we're nearly a third of the way through this matchup, and Daniel Bryan now sizing up the champion, looking to even the score, looking for the Psycho knee here. Daniel Bryan is revving up. He is targeting the champion here. Can Bryan hit the knee? He goes for it. Cesaro dodges the neutralizer. He's got him up. Bryan though counters in. Bryan, oh man, what a counter right into the heel hook. That heel hook submission, that leg lock, locked in on Cesaro. And Cesaro now trying to fight to the ropes here. Can he get there? Bryan and Bryan now just kicking the back of Cesaro, stopping him from getting the ropes and now pulling him back in the ring. Cesaro, though, kicks his way out of the submission. And now the champion getting back on his feet here. And now he's got Bryan trying to lift him up on the shoulders. He's got him up. But now Bryan, the crucifix pin, the pinfall here. Cesaro kicks out, but now Bryan again looking for the lapel lock. He's trying to lock it in. Here, but Cesaro is too close to the ropes there. And the champion is lucky that the ropes were right there for him. If that was in the center of the ring, certainly could have been the fall for Bryan. But now Cesaro on the ring apron here, trying to get back to his feet. But now here comes Daniel Bryan and the drop kick, and sending the champion to the outside onto the floor. Daniel Bryan now has got Cesaro on the outside, and now here's Bryan on the ring apron. And Daniel Bryan now, here he comes with the flying knee. The flying knee there from Daniel Bryan. And Bryan takes out the champion on the outside. As now Daniel Bryan, again, he's got Cesaro down, but he's got to find a way to take advantage and actually score a fall here on the World Heavyweight Champion. As now Bryan sending him into those steel steps. And Bryan now going after the champion. And what's he thinking here? Daniel Bryan, oh man, he's picking up Cesaro, and oh no. Daniel Bryan has got him over those steel steps. A precarious position here for the champion and the challenger. But now Cesaro! The back body drop, sending Daniel Bryan to the floor. Cesaro, with that strength there, sends Daniel Bryan to the floor, and now he gets back in the ring to momentarily break the count. Cesaro doesn't want the count out here, but now he's sizing up Daniel Bryan, and Cesaro from the apron, and now the senton, but nobody home, and Cesaro and Bryan, the psycho knee. Psycho knee from Daniel Bryan. Cesaro landed flat on his back after missing that senton, and Daniel Bryan hits the running knee there, and Cesaro is out. Cesaro's got to be out here, and now Bryan has got him over the steps, and Daniel Bryan now, oh man! Daniel Bryan, the DDT right onto those solid steel steps. And Cesaro, if that knee didn't knock him out, those steel steps certainly finished the job. Cesaro has got to be out cold here, and Daniel Bryan now bringing him back in the ring. Cesaro's got to be out, and now Bryan walking in the lapel lock here. The lapel lock locked in. And the referee waiting, but Cesaro is not moving at all. The World Heavyweight Champion is out cold here, and the referee is going to award that fall to Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan has officially tied things up 1-1 here with the lapel lock, and Cesaro is knocked out, and this could be a huge advantage for Daniel Bryan. Cesaro is completely out of it, and Bryan could very quickly score another fall here, and that's what he's trying to do. He's waiting for Cesaro to get back to his feet. Could be looking for another psycho knee here, waiting for the champion to get back on his feet. Cesaro's back up, but no! Cesaro just collapses there. Bryan was going for the knee, and Cesaro just collapsed. The champion's completely out here, and now Bryan with those kicks again, and now looking for the big one. Cesaro though ducks underneath, and Cesaro's got Bryan, and Cesaro now swinging him around. The champion has found life, swinging around Daniel Bryan. The Cesaro swing there, and now in for the cover. Bryan kicks out. But Cesaro has got back into this matchup with the swing there. And now, the World Heavyweight Champion back to his feet. And now he could be looking for the neutralizer, snapping his neck there. And now, Cesaro has got Bryan here looking for the neutralizer. Bryan though counters, jacking his cover on Cesaro. Cesaro kicks out of it. But now, Cesaro, the big boot there. And now, springboard, European uppercut. The World Heavyweight Champion flying through the air there. And now Cesaro has Daniel Bryan down. He could be looking for another high-risk move. Cesaro climbing up on the top rope. And Cesaro now with the crossbody. And in for the cover, lateral press. Bryan though goes through a cover of his own now. Cesaro kicks out, but now Bryan, again he's got the arm, and again in the lapel lock. Can he lock it in? Cesaro slipping out of it there, and now the uppercut. Bryan on the rolling elbow. And now here comes Daniel Bryan. But Cesaro, Bryan though turns it around in the cradle with the pinfall. Cesaro kicks out. But now a boot there. And Cesaro now has got Bryan. But Bryan, Northern Light suplex. These men trading moves so fast here. As now Daniel Bryan coming off the ropes. Cesaro though caught him with the elbow. But now Cesaro ducking the clothesline, and here's Cesaro, but he's caught. But Psycho knee out of midair. But Psycho knee for Bryan, hooks the leg.
2, 3.
And Daniel Bryan has taken the lead. Cesaro went for another springboard uppercut, but Bryan caught him with that knee right out of midair. And Daniel Bryan has officially taken the lead in this Iron Man matchup. With just about 13 minutes to go, Daniel Bryan leads it 2-1. And now, if this match were to end, Bryan would be the new World Heavyweight Champion. Bryan has the advantage at this point, but he knows if he can build even more, if he can get an even bigger cushion, it will go a long way. As Bryan going up on the top with a headbutt, but nobody home. Cesaro just rolls out of the way. Daniel Bryan comes up empty there. And now, both men trying to get back to their feet here. But now Bryan has got Cesaro again. And again those elbows to the bad arm. Daniel Bryan again targeting the arm. And now another submission hold. The disarmer locked in on the World Heavyweight Champion. Again targeting the bad arm of Cesaro that he's been working on this whole match. But now Cesaro trying to fight out of it. He's got Bryan by the legs. Bryan though kicks him away into the corner there. But now, Bryan, moonsaults back onto his feet. And now Cesaro, though, he caught him the neutralizer. Neutralizer from the champion. The neutralizers and Cesaro trying to even the score here with the cover. And Bryan just gets his hand on the ropes there. And that might have been the only thing saving him. But now Cesaro pulling him back to the ring. Another pin. But this time, Bryan kicks out. And Cesaro has got to be getting desperate here now that he is trailing the challenger and the neutralizer was not enough. Both men have got to be reaching their limit here in this Iron Man match. Because now Cesaro, the champion, picking up Daniel Bryan. And oh, look at this, Cesaro's got him up in that electric chair position. He's got Bryan way up on the shoulders there. What can he do over here? But now both men towards the ropes, and oh! Cesaro and Bryan tumbling over the ropes there. Bryan stays on the apron while Cesaro lands hard on the floor that time. And now, this could be another opportunity for Bryan. And now he's fired up. Daniel Bryan is fired up. And now, here comes the challenger. Daniel Bryan, the suicide dive. Suicide dive from Bryan. Daniel Bryan may have renounced those high-flying moves in the past, but now both these men are desperate. Both these men throwing everything they have, every trick up their sleeve, as now Daniel Bryan He knows if he scores another fall, if he can build up that lead, it would certainly help him to win this matchup. As now Bryan climbing up on the top rope, and here the missile drop kick. Big drop kick there from Bryan, and now in for the cover. But Cesaro kicks out. And now we are under 10 minutes to go in this matchup. Daniel Bryan still leads it 2-1. But now both these men coming to their final gasp of breath here as Bryan now, but Cesaro pulls him in. Cesaro now with the crossface locked in. And Cesaro with Daniel Bryan's own move locked in against him. Can Cesaro even the score here? Daniel Bryan, it's a long crawl to the ropes, but he's trying to get there. He's trying to crawl to the ropes here. He's almost there, but now Cesaro kicks back, but Bryan turns it around, and the lapel lock locked in. Cesaro kicked off the ropes, but Bryan turned it around that time, and he's got it locked in center of the ring. Can Cesaro get out of it, or will Bryan get another fall? Cesaro trying to claw his way to the ropes here, but I don't know if he can make it. He looks like he might be fading in that submission. Daniel Bryan could go up 3-1 here, but Cesaro trying to fight, trying to claw his way to those ropes. Can he make it there? He's nearly there, and the World Heavyweight Champion so close, reaching out his hand, and he just gets to those ropes. And Daniel Bryan will have to let go of the submission there. But Cesaro came very close to giving up another fall that time. And Daniel Bryan knows it. He knows he could have Cesaro right where he wants him here. Cesaro struggling back to his feet. And Daniel Bryan now has got the champion. He's got him here, and now Bryan bringing him in the corner. What could he be thinking here? Daniel Bryan hoisting Cesaro up onto the top rope here. And Daniel Bryan now could be looking for a butterfly suplex off the top, maybe. He's got Cesaro here, but Cesaro fighting to his feet, and now Cesaro, the neutralizer off the top rope from the World Heavyweight Champion. And now, can he get to the cover? He does. The pinfall on Daniel Bryan. And Cesaro has tied it up again. 2 falls apiece with just over 7 minutes remaining. Wow, I cannot believe the fight I am seeing between these two men here tonight. Certainly proving themselves to be the Iron Men of PTW. But we're still tied up here. One man has got to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Cesaro now looking for the neutralizer here. Bryan though counters into the pinfall here. Cesaro though now a pin of his own. But now he's got him by the legs here now. But oh, Bryan kicks him away. Cesaro rolls through there. But now Cesaro sending Bryan over the top, and now the uppercut there, and another one. Bryan just hanging on to the apron, but now here comes the champion. Another European uppercut, and it sends Daniel Bryan to the outside. Cesaro now going outside. This thing is tied up 2-2, where if it was a draw, I don't know what we would do there if this came down to a tie. But now Cesaro is going to climb up onto the top rope here. Cesaro from the top, but oh, Bryan gets out of the way, and now Bryan with those kicks again. The kicks from Bryan there, but now Cesaro! Huge lariat from the Swiss Cyborg. And Daniel Bryan got folded inside out that time. But now Cesaro picking up the challenger here, but now he's got him, and oh man, the gut wrench throw there from Cesaro, and he rolls through, and he's got him, and a second gut wrench suplex, and now Cesaro looking for the third one, the trifecta. Bryan though lands on his feet, and now a big forearm from the American Dragon, and now oh man, the suplex there, the cover. Cesaro kicked out, or that half dragon suplex there. from Daniel Bryan. But now he's got Cesaro in the corner looking for the dropkick. Cesaro though caught him out. And Cesaro slingshots him over the top there. And the World Heavyweight Champion now. He's got Daniel Bryan on the ring apron. Bryan though fighting back, snapping his neck right on that top rope there. And now Bryan looking to climb up on the top rope here, the crossbody, but Cesaro catching him out of the air, but now hoisting him up. Look at the power of the champion. He's got a Bryan and the Gorilla Press. Gorilla Press slam in the cover. And Daniel Bryan kicks out. These guys throwing just about every maneuver they can think of here. This 30-minute Iron Man match is coming down to the final minutes as Cesaro now picking up Daniel Bryan. And now again looking for the neutralizer. He's got him up here. He's got him up, but Bryan, kicking him right in the head there. And now Daniel Bryan. That big kick to the side of the head and the cover. Cesaro kicks out. Less than 4 minutes to go and we are still tied 2-2. But Daniel Bryan could be looking to take the lead back right here, looking again for the Psycho knee as Cesaro trying to fight up to his feet. But Bryan looking for the knee. Cesaro throws him up, but Bryan's got the arm. He's got the arm and now looking for the lapel lock. What a counter by Bryan. These guys going counter for counter. Looking for Cesaro though, in for the cover now. Bryan rolls out of it there, but now Cesaro now has got him by the legs here, going for the sharpshooter again, trying to lock it in, but Bryan, a counter again, another counter, and now again into the leg lock there. These guys, I'm struggling to keep up, just going move for move here constantly, countering and outwitting each other, but Cesaro able to get to the ropes there. And we're now down inside 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. And this crowd is all on their feet. It's no longer about good guys and bad guys here. It's about who is the best. And these men are putting it all on the line. And now Cesaro, the European uppercut, goes for the clothesline. Bryan ducks underneath. And now Bryan, Psycho knee. He hit it. The Psycho knee. And Bryan in for the cover to take the lead. No. Cesaro somehow kicks out. Cesaro somehow kicks out of the Psycho knee, and Bryan could be running out of time here. Just over 2 minutes to go. And Daniel Bryan, he knows that could have been a shot to take the lead and potentially win the World Heavyweight title. We're now waiting for Cesaro to recover. Here is Daniel Bryan. But now again, could be looking for the lapel lock again. But Cesaro though to his feet. And Cesaro suplex Bryan on his feet. Cesaro though kicking the gut. And now Cesaro has got him. The neutralizer. The neutralizer. Cesaro hits it. He hit the neutralizer on Daniel Bryan. Now the cover. Cesaro to take the lead. But no. Daniel Bryan now showing that he has somehow found that fire and is good to continue. And both these men kicking out of everything. We're under 90 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. This crowd's on their feet cheering for both guys, the fortitude they put in this matchup. And now, just trading strikes here. No, Cesaro, the rolling uppercut. And now, looking for the suplex. Bryan, though, elbows out of it. And now Bryan's got him now. Bryan, the Dragon Sleeper here. Dragon Sleeper trying to lock it in with a minute to go. Less than a minute. He's got the Sleeper locked in on Cesaro. He's got it in. Cesaro the rolls through. In for the cover here. Bryan kicks out. Both men now on their feet and they're just going at it with the punches. Just going out of here. And Bryan now the backslide in for the cover. These guys getting desperate. Bryan now again the lapel lock. Again going for it here. Can he lock it in? Cesaro though gets to the ropes, and we're at 30 seconds and we're still tied. 30 seconds to go here. They're running out of time. Now, almost 20 seconds, but Cesaro, the European uppercut. 20 seconds now. 15, Cesaro looking for the neutralizer. Bryan though, the kick, the heavy kick there. the kick, but now he's got the cover. Time's running out, but he's got the cover on Cesaro, and Daniel Bryan takes the lead. Daniel Bryan wins. 3 falls to 2. Daniel Bryan is your new World Heavyweight Champion. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, I know I said I'd try not to, but I have lost my voice here on commentary. What a finish, what a final sequence. Throwing absolutely everything at each other. But Daniel Bryan, that kick, and he just out of exhaustion just fell on top of Cesaro and got the pinfall with less than 10 seconds remaining. And Daniel Bryan is your new World Heavyweight Champion. What a match that was. I know the WrestleMania one was a classic, but that was certainly something. Cesaro and Daniel Bryan. And Bryan now, Cesaro's down and out here. Daniel Bryan trying to tell the referee to check on Cesaro here. But oh! And oh my God, no. No! No! Seth Rollins! Seth Rollins, that bastard who turned on Finn Balor earlier in the night. But he's got that Money in the Bank contract. And not like this. Anything but this. But Daniel Bryan doing the smart thing and just getting the hell out of there. As Seth Rollins looked like he wanted to cash in that briefcase. And as much as I hate it, this would have been the perfect time. But Bryan smartly just getting out of the ring. But oh, Seth Rollins, no! A curb stomp to Cesaro! And Cesaro, he just went through 30 minutes of hell! A 30-minute Iron Man match! And the refs were checking on him. And Rollins just stomped him to the mat! Seth Rollins, you sick bastard! But oh, there's Finn Balor! Finn Balor will give a vengeance on Rollins here! But now Bryan! Daniel Bryan! The Psycho knee lays out Mr. Money in the Bank! Finn Balor out here as well. He wanted to get his hands on Seth Rollins after what happened earlier in the night. And Daniel Bryan thankfully puts a stop to that cash-in. We gotta check on Cesaro, but ladies and gentlemen, what a 30-minute Iron Man match, and what a show here at PTW Iron Man.